Okay, yes, Your Honor. On the July the 3rd, I had slipped and fell in the shower and I injured my side. Okay. On July the 7th, my husband stayed with his father and Miss Jones. Okay. He my husband, he was helping me because I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything because I was injured. Okay. So I went over there where he was. He told me to come over there where he was so he could help me move around and get around. Okay. So I went over there. I called a Uber from the hospital from there. When I got there into my husband's bedroom where he paid rent at, she saw her husband, Mr. Eric Mangum, in the room to ask me when am I gonna give her some money? And I said I didn't owe her any money. So I guess he went back and told her what I said. So she bust in the room. I was sitting on the sofa. She bust in the room and just started swinging and hit me all in my face. I couldn't even defend myself. My husband had to get, when I stood up, my husband got in front of us because she was still swinging. I couldn't even swing or lift my arm because I was sore. I called the police. When the officer came out, she was still fussing and calling me out my name. That's it, Your Honor. I can't hear
Jones, I'm going to give you till about 8:34 for you to give your opening statement about what occurred.
Okay, Your Honor, Miss Lyons is right about part of what she's saying. Now I don't know about the walking and all that stuff because as far as I'm concerned, she was walking just fine up in my house. But what I'm saying to you, Your Honor, listen to me, Your Honor. Miss Lyons had been staying with me for at least 4 or 5 months. She started out giving me $200 worth of food stamp for 2 months.
Yep.
And then, listen, Your Honor, I didn't disturb her, so I want you to listen to me. And so when it got to May, she got a check for $5,000 and she gave me $80. And so that was fine. But I asked my husband when it got July to ask her when she was going to give me something else for laying there. She had been staying there. And if she wasn't staying there, why did, when she took out the one on her husband, did the public defender come here and said she was using our address? So I'm not going there. But all I'm saying to you, Your Honor, all I was asking her for was a little money to help out for her living in my house for 3 or 4 days at a time in a week. That's what I call living with me, Your Honor. Okay, I'm through with that. The main thing, Your Honor, is I haven't seen Tamika Lyons since July the 7th or the 8th when this incident has happened. We're wasting the court time because she don't come here. I don't know where she stay. So it's over. That's all I'm saying. And Your Honor, I want to add that at that time, I'm bipolar, schizophrenic, and manic depressed. I have a doctor paper over here saying that I was partially blind at that time. So I don't know if I hit her or her husband, but I do know I was totally out of order. But the doctor has put me on some medicine now, and I'm doing better. So I'm sorry to Miss Lyons about what I did, but I was out of order, but I'm doing a lot better. So if she can accept my apology and keep staying wherever she's staying, don't step foot on my property, and I don't want to know where she's staying at. That'll just suit me just fine, Judge.
Well, thank you, Ms.
Can I
Jones.
say something?
Well, you will. Hold tight. So, Ms. Jones, do you have any witness testimony or physical evidence that you emailed that you want me to review?
I have 2, as a matter of fact. I thought I had 1, but one just stepped in from out the woodwork, and she would like to have a little something to
Well,
say.
hold on. Before we have woodwork witnesses, did you have any physical evidence that you'd like to produce to the court?
Well, I got some scratches on my arm, so she said she couldn't do nothing. And I have a picture of a black eye, and
Okay, I'm not talking to Ms. Jones. Ms. Lyons, do you have any pictures or any evidence that you'd like to introduce?
I do not, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any witness testimony that you'd like to introduce?
I do, but my husband don't have a phone. I'm on my way to the house.
Okay, so he's not there.
Oh, he's right here on the. How he gonna supposed to see that?
He's right here on video.
Is he? Why didn't he log into the event?
No, he can't. He can't.
And that's not gonna work. I'm gonna be 100. We're not gonna get on top of video. All right. So let me do this. Let's stop. Ms. Jones, unmute for me. Unmute for me, Ms. Jones. I can't hear you because you're still muted, man.
Can you hear me, Judge?
Ms. Jones, let me ask you these questions.
Okay,
Did you hit Ms. Lyons?
I did.
Okay. And I know you say you suffer under mental illness. I understand that. And I do understand the frustrations of being plagued with that.
Yes,
But you can't go around hitting people,
right.
you know. Ms. Lyons, how do you know Ms. Jones again?
I'm married. I am married. With her.
Y'all are family technically through marriage.
I'm not family with her. No.
You're not family, but somebody else. I mean, you may not be blood family, but did you marry into her, or y'all married into each other's family in some ways, shape, or form?
Yes, she's married to my stepson.
Oh, okay. Your connection's starting to break up. Now, and Ms. Lyons, let me just tell you too, just so you're aware, if I were to issue an arrest warrant, it would be for a UJR. She'd be released. Now, I don't know if you guys desire to interact with each other anymore.
No, we don't.
No, Your Honor.
She told me she wasn't gonna come back over here no more. And guess what? She haven't. And I appreciate her.
I have not been over there, and I'm not gonna go back over there.
Okay.
I think it's wrong because she know what she do. She used her disability to get.
Hold on. I'm very familiar with people with disabilities and all those things. But what I'm asking you is it your desire is to have her arrested?
Yes.
Okay. And you are aware that even if she's arrested, she will be released.
That's fine. But something need to be done because it's not right for her to just put her hands on people and just hit on people. That's not right because it's the other way around.
Ms. Lyons, you can tell me all those. Listen, stop. Folks, let me tell you something. Right? Doing all that yelling don't help you get your point across. It makes me think that you have a temper issue as well, because you seem to not even be able to hold yourself while we're on a Zoom call. Like, folks, we got to be a little bit more patient and calm, especially when there's not a direct harm immediately against you. Nobody's in a position to strike you, Ms. Lyons, at this moment. You need to be a lot more calmer how we communicate. All right? Same thing with Ms. Jones. Now, Ms. Jones, I know you can hear me, but you can't hit people. You've admitted to hitting her and striking her. I'd be remiss if I did not issue an arrest warrant because obviously you are committing some type of offense that has made someone upset. Hold on, Ms. Jones, you don't need to talk right now. You just need to listen. So that's a concern. I understand that you may suffer from a mental illness, and I understand that that is a troubling thing to deal with, but that does not give you the authority nor the excuse to strike people and assume that you don't have any consequences associated with it. I'm not telling you that you're guilty. Obviously, your admission may or may not be used against you. But ultimately, what I'm going to do, because of your admission, and I understand that you may have some remorse about it, but this is what we're going to do. I have no intent on messing up your life. But I do think that it appears that you guys may not be able to get along. And I have no other authority than to issue what I'm going to issue, but for issuing an arrest warrant. So this is what we're going to do.
Okay. Today is the date scheduled for a jail review. Your client was sentenced in May of 2023 for disorderly conduct as assaulting and resisting an officer was dismissed. and he was sentenced to probation and 30 days on the alcohol tether. He was permitted to travel to Virginia for a funeral. Upon his return, there was a probation violation whereby he pled guilty on June 21st. The court sentenced Mr. Rudolph to 5 days jail, suspended that jail pending a jail review on August 28th. On August 21st, we held the jail review and adjourned it to October 23rd, whereby we were at the Court to Schools program. So we thought it appropriate to set it for today's date instead of the Court to Schools program. And so today is the date scheduled for the jail review. And Mr. Shunke?
Your Honor, I've had an opportunity to review the jail review. I saw the recommendations. I'd ask they be adopted. Nothing further from the defense.
And so, Mr. Rudolph, did you go test on October 19th as Ms. Shaw had instructed you to do?
Your Honor, it was an oversight. The first thing I do every morning when I wake up is check whether I have to report or not, because I have to plan, because I don't drive for obvious reasons. It was an oversight. I
understand
tested,
that. And that was the one.
Excuse
Excuse me, please, just one moment. I
All right,
understand that October 17th was an oversight. I understand that, sir, which is why Ms. Shaw advised you to test on October 19th. Did you go test on October 19th?
Yes, in Lincoln Park on 4th Street.
Okay.
I filled out the paperwork accordingly. If you don't have it, it's not my fault. I have a receipt. I paid $25 to pee in a bottle.
Sir, I didn't say I didn't have it. I'm just trying to make a record. So I was asking if you went to test on October 19th.
All right. Was it negative or positive? Oh, Jesus. That's a problem.
What's the problem, sir?
What are the test results?
I'm looking in the file, sir.
I'm sure they're negative, as all of them have been. Your Honor, I respectfully want to address the court. I left my house at the age of 17 to join the military, to join the military police corps, because I love law, I love order. But what is going on in this country is the gross misconduct of justice. I respectfully ask you to release me from probation. I'll pay my fines and I'm done with this circus. And it's not on you, it's not on the court. It's if my last name was Biden, I wouldn't be drunk in front of this court. Everyone knows it. If my last name is Trump, I'd be on the cross. Crucified. And that's the only person that cares about this country. Because the Democrats and half the Republicans want to roll this country under the ground. And I've seen too many brothers and sisters die for this. And that's all I have to say. Whatever you want to do to me, I don't care. I can. What's the balance of my? I'm not asking you to do it, but I've done it plus 10. I did 8 years in the military, and 100 days in jail doesn't mean crap to me.
Well, I appreciate your restraint in choosing your words carefully. And to answer your question, sir, your test was negative. And
thank you.
And the court,
Please let me go. That's all I want. I won't step foot in line anymore. I'll pay you the couple $100 I owe you. Please leave me alone. That's all I ask. That's why I live in Monroe, because I don't want to see anyone. I don't want to deal with anyone. That's why I have 3 acres.
I can respect that. However, sir,
Thank you. All right.
There is still a job that I have to do. And so
All
the court had originally sentenced you to 18 months probation. You're eligible for early discharge. So you have a few more months to go if there aren't any violations within the next few months for you to request early discharge.
Ma'am, with all due respect,
Yes.
that's not acceptable.
No, it's not acceptable.
No, it's not.
Okay.
I've earned the right to do what I want to do. And so what's the balance? So if I don't comply, what's going to happen? Oh, this is the part where my lawyer should speak up. My court-appointed lawyer, even though I paid $5,000 for Longton to represent me, and then he drops me because he's a shill. Shepke, got anything to say? Yeah, raise your eyebrows.
Nothing on behalf of the defense. Obviously,
do?
Mr. Rudolph has made his statements, and I still respectfully request that jail not be imposed. Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Mr. Rudolph, you absolutely have the right to behave as you want to behave within the confines of the law and within the confines of this court's order regarding probation based upon the events that occurred on March 18th, which is why you're in front of this court.
Oh, because
sir,
I don't mean to.
Mr. Rudolph, please. I allowed you to say your piece, so please refrain from interrupting the court while I am speaking. With the exception of your use of alcohol on your trip that this court gave you permission to attend for a funeral for one of your comrades, if I recall correctly. Other than that, you haven't had any other violations. So the recommendation is for the jail review to be adjourned, to not impose the jail at this time. So that's what the court's going to do. I will also, sir, remind you that when you have your appointment with your probation officer, that is also an extension of the court. So appropriate behavior and language is expected.
I don't mean to.
Just one moment, please. Please let me finish.
I'm raising my hand like I'm in grade school. Go ahead, ma'am.
The communication that you have had with Ms. Shaw is less than stellar, and that cannot continue. The staff here do not need to be subjected to the language and types of communication that Ms. Shaw was subjected to.
I think I can get my
yes, Mr. Rudolph. Mr. Rudolph,
yes,
did you understand what?
Yes, ma'am, I do. Ad nauseum. That's Latin. I understand that. I'm very well educated. As well
I didn't
as
say you weren't, sir.
All right. First Amendment. What? I can't speak what I have to speak? It's the First Amendment. It's the First Amendment of the Constitution. I don't care if she doesn't like the way I speak. I've earned the right to speak how I speak because I know when I'm getting F. Thank you. I'll pay you the money. Leave me alone. I won't step foot in Wyandotte. This is ridiculous.
Sir?
You're going to make me a pariah. You're going to make me a pariah. And I'll do it. And I'll expose it. I don't care. You can't do anything to me that hasn't been taken from me. Do you understand that? Ma'am?
Sir? Sir?
That's it. I'm done. I'm done. I ain't playing the game anymore. I'm not playing the game.
Listen, I am not going to have you yelling and screaming at me.
I'm not yelling and screaming. This is the way I talk. I'm half Italian. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, let me also state this, sir. While there's a First Amendment right.
Right. I didn't pull a fire alarm. I didn't pull a fire alarm on the Senate floor.
Please let me stop interrupting.
I'm sorry, but I yield the time to Mrs. DeSanto.
Please. Excuse me.
I yield.
My staff does not need to be subjected to that type of behavior. You want to speak? Excuse me. Stop interrupting, please. I'm just letting you know that behavior and communication will not be tolerated. So please refrain from doing so that there may not be any other issues moving forward.
Yes,
so we will adjourn the jail review.
Can I get on the record, ma'am? I'm stubborn. Can I get on the record? I'm sorry. I didn't think you're, ma'am.
Just excuse me, sir. Sir, we are done. We are adjourning the jail review.
We're not done.
We are adjourning the jail review.
I to voice my opinion in a court of law, ma'am.
18 at 10:30
deny me my right. I don't give a crap. I got all day.
Mr. Rudolph.
Ma'am.
I was not done speaking. Please refrain from interrupting.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, if you didn't hear me, the adjourned jail review date is December 18th at 10:30 in the morning.
I have surgery.
On December 18th?
Yeah, to fix this.
Okay, we can set this to January, council.
Really? You could set it to Neptune.
Are you on the docket on January 8th, Mr. Shunke?
I'm sorry, what was the question, Judge?
January 8th, are you on the docket?
January 8th, I'll look at it, please.
Your Honor, I want Mr. Shepke's job because he doesn't have to say anything.
Excuse me,
no,
Mr.
Judge,
Rudolph.
I'm not available on January 8th. And I did say something on your behalf, Mr. Rudolph. I was trying to make it so that you wouldn't go into custody. You seemed like you wanted to have something to say. I've advised you of your right to remain silent.
I'm not afraid of that.
Okay. I've advised you of your rights.
I'll pay the fine and leave me alone. I respect the court. That's the only reason I went into the military.
Mr. Rudolph,
yes,
your behavior would suggest that perhaps you don't respect the court.
Yes, I do, ma'am.
Are you available on January 22nd?
One moment, Your Honor. Yes, I am available, Judge.
Okay. We will adjourn this to January 22nd at 10:30 a.m. which will also give you time for your recovery from surgery, sir.
I have a question.
What is your question, sir?
Final question. Can Mrs. Shaw figure out how to correctly document a notice to appear? because you know what? I like her. She's nice. She's cut me breaks, but apparently she don't know what boxes to check. I have one eye, and I know what failure to appear and then Zoom be two different things. For the record, that is it. Thank you.
Sir,
God bless you.
sir, some individuals may make mistakes.
Yes, ma'am.
So maybe perhaps.
No.
Excuse me.
You know what, ma'am?
No,
I respectfully. You know what happens when
No.
you make mistakes?
Excuse me. Let me finish without interrupting the record. Let me finish. She sent you a notice to appear for your oversight meeting in December, and she mistakenly indicated it was in person. Listen, you're going to be emailing back into her today so she can correct that. You weren't given a fail to appear. Sir, okay, I see that your lips are moving. You are muted so that you're not interrupting the court. You don't want to listen to what this court has to say, so we are done. January 22nd at 10:30 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. We're off the record.